Here I have our 2005 Ford F-150 with a 5.4 liter Triton engine. We've had it for a few years. We inherited it from my wife's dad. He is the original owner, and they pretty much only use this truck to go to like Home Depot, Menards, get drywall, and that's it. That's all this truck was ever used for. The body looks to be in great condition, okay? And when we got it from him, because unfortunately he passed away a few years ago, it only had about 30 something thousand miles on, like 33,000. And it pretty much just sat in front of our house for a few years. And over the years, I've had to do repairs, and I'm going to create an entire playlist for this car of all the videos I've made repairing different things on this car, from front wheel bearings and brakes, fuel pump module, starter, power steering leaks, things of that nature. Okay, problems that just popped up while we were trying to use the vehicle, and I had no choice but to fix it. And the whole intent was, after we moved into our new house, we would sell the truck because we no longer have a use for it, right? And by the way, this truck moved our entire house, guys. We did not rent a single U-Haul. We didn't rent anything like that. Okay, this one truck moved our entire house. So this thing is a real workhorse, and it drives like a dream. It drives like a brand new truck inside. No noises, no nothing, just nice and quiet like a brand new truck. So anyways, after it moved the entire house over, this thing now has about, I already forgot, like 62,000 miles, but I'll confirm. I'll put a short clip of it right here. So it still has relatively low miles for the age of the vehicle, it being a 2005. The longer we held on to it, we realized that the truck has been extremely useful, you know, for doing truck stuff. So this is where we decided, let's just keep it, guys. It's super reliable. It's been pretty good to us. It moved our whole house, and it continues to be useful to us. And it would be a shame to get rid of it right now after everything it's done for us. So we're actually going to start doing some more maintenance on it. Well, when I say we're, I mean me. Let's go ahead today and start with the oil change. And I'm sad to say that this thing has not had a oil change in, I don't know, I want to say maybe 2 years. I know, don't bash me about it, guys. The thing is, it doesn't get driven. It just sits here all day. So even the last oil change that I did on it, it doesn't have a lot of miles on that oil. Today, let's go ahead and start with a proper oil change. New oil filter, of course. And guess what, guys? If anyone knows anything about these 5.4 Triton engines, you know about the spark plugs. And I've been watching a lot of the Ford Tech Make You Local channel, and yeah, it's kind of scary watching what he goes through on these 5.4 Triton engines, because I know I have the same exact engine in this truck, and it's scary. And guess what? This car has some symptoms of the problems that he finds that are super common in this truck, such as the ticking noise coming from the rocker assembly. So there's no misfires or anything on this thing, but there is definitely a noise while this thing is running, especially on a cold start. So that's another repair we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to dig into the valve cover and see if any of the rocker arms are worn out, or just, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So we got to dig into it. The first thing we have to start with, after the oil change, of course, is going to be the spark plugs. And guys, I went ahead and ordered Ford Motorcraft spark plugs, the updated design, because if you know anything about the spark plugs in these trucks, they can be a nightmare. So apparently the spark plugs in these trucks have a tendency to break off inside the cylinder head. And it's a 05, okay? So this is a perfect candidate for those years of models that have this problem. And to my knowledge, this car still has the original spark plugs in it from 2005. So it's actually really scary, because this is part of the reason why I kept putting off doing spark plugs on this truck, because I don't know if they're going to break off inside the cylinder head, and I've been avoiding it. But we can't avoid it any longer, guys. We have to do the repair, and there's a pretty good chance that we may end up having to buy that Lio tool to extract broken spark plugs. But I got my fingers crossed that that's not the case. But if you watch enough of the Ford Tech Make You Local channel, you know how extremely common it is for these spark plugs to break off inside the engine. So I've got the hood open, and you know, just looking at some things here, it's reminding me of other things that need to get done. So one thing I failed to mention that we also did, which was more recent, is I changed the differential cover and we put new fluid in the differential. So that's good, okay? But this thing has original brake fluid from 2005, so that needs to get serviced, completely flushed out. Coolant has never been changed since 2005, so that needs to get flushed out. Power steering fluid, all we did was add or top off the power steering fluid when I replaced that line, but it definitely did not get a flush, so that needs to be addressed as well. Another thing with this truck is the AC works on it, but it works intermittently, okay? Meaning on a hot day, you turn on the AC, it'll work fine. You'll be driving, you'll probably get 10, 15, 20 minutes if you're lucky out of the AC, and then it starts blowing just warm air. The AC just stops working. And sometimes, not all the time, like I haven't had any luck with this, but my wife has told me that if she turns off the AC and leaves it off for like 30, 40 minutes, when she tries to turn it back on again, not starting the truck, just hit the AC button again, she said it sometimes starts working. So it seems like a temperature related fault. Like when something heats up, like I don't know, I'm just guessing here, but I'm just trying to give you guys an example. But let's just say like if the relay for the AC compressor, once it gets hot enough, it acts up, it stops working. So that would explain why when the AC is off, you wait like 30, 40 minutes and you go to turn on the AC again, all of a sudden it works because that relay, again, I'm just assuming here, that relay has had time to cool off and now it's working as it should. So of course, I don't know what's actually causing this intermittent no AC, but those are the symptoms that we're having. And just to point out some other benefits, this is a brand new battery that her dad had installed, not long before he passed away. So that thing is relatively new. And then the same thing with the tires, guys. He put brand new tires on this thing not long ago. So tires on this truck are in great condition, brand spanking new. Tires are not cheap. All right, so I tried a 17. It's clearly not that. That one fits. What is this? 16. 16 is not a size I use often. Leave it to Ford to use oddball sizes. I really wish I had my gloves on right now. You know, for when your ratchet slips and you smash your hand. I should also have gloves on. I don't like getting oil on my hands. I don't know why. I feel like it just really messes with my skin. In fact, let me go get some gloves. And there you have it. Chose the black gloves today. Yes, black gloves matter. Move the pan out a little bit. It's unfortunate that in the Chicagoland area, the rust just eats up your car. So that's the worst thing about this truck, is that even though the truck itself is in great condition, drives great, relatively low miles, but the frame is just rotting away because of the salt. Chicago. Isn't it nice paying thousands of dollars for a car or a truck, and the salt just eats it right up? Talk about waste of money. Now I know this thing is going to be full on oil. It's not like we're running it low, because just a few months ago I checked the oil and it was low, probably like 1 quart, and I topped it off. So not too bad. Alright, that seems to be good. We just have a tiny little stream coming out, guys. You can't really wait for this type of stuff. The people say, oh, why didn't you wait for it to stop dripping? You know how long it would take for this thing to stop dripping? This car would have to be up on jack stands with the oil plug removed for like 48 hours. And you still may come back and find that it's still dripping slowly. So, what's funny is I get comments whenever I do oil change videos. I always get those people, oh, you're a hack. You put the plug back on and it still had oil in it. Those are the people who you can tell they've never done an oil change a day in their life. Because that's not realistic. It doesn't matter. You take it to a dealer, a shop, your mom. It doesn't matter, guys. They let 99% of the oil drain out. And that last little bit that's dripping, or that tiny little stream, nobody ever worries about that. Because you're never really... You're never really going to get all the oil out of it. It's impossible. Trust me. So let me go ahead and spray this down to clean up the mess right here and make sure it's nice and dry, and we'll move on to the oil filter. Fine, I'll show you guys me cleaning it off because I know some of you aren't going to believe me. Brake parts cleaner and a shop towel. Clean it up real nice. If you're wondering why do I do this, well, it's to identify any future leaks. If you left it all leaky and wet and you look at it a few days later and you see it all leaky and wet, you don't know if, hey, was that there already or is it a new leak? Always clean up your mess, guys. If there's two facts I've learned throughout my whole lifetime, it's that water's always wet and haters are gonna hate. Those are facts, guys. Take that to the grave. I got the old oil filter off. It was this one right here. And I drew a hose in all my filters so they could drain out. And then once they're done draining in a few days, I'll toss them out. So if we go underneath here, look, it's kind of a crappy location, but you can see the black filter. That's a new one. Alright, so that's all done. Let's go ahead and put the new oil in. And of course, nothing but the best oil for this truck. In case you're wondering what oil I'm using, it's whatever oil is on sale at your local auto parts store. I get customers that ask me all the time, what's the best oil? First of all, just get the correct weight that is recommended for your car by the manufacturer. As far as a brand, I tell them, hey, don't stop at your gas station and buy a knockoff, no-name brand. You know what I'm saying? Get a standard name brand that people have heard of, and full of synthetic, of course. You'll be alright. I mean, you guys aren't freaking racing cars, okay? It's just a standard grocery getter, soccer mom car, right? Get whatever's on sale. And if you really love your car, get the fancy stuff. You get what I'm saying? I'm all done topping off the oil. Let's go ahead and pull out the dipstick for you haters that don't believe me. Hopefully you can see the sheen of the oil going right up to that top dot. We are Gucci, as the kids like to say nowadays. I don't even think they say that anymore. Oh well. Yeah, I'm living in the past. Who cares? Go ahead and wrap this job up, and that'll be it for this, guys. I know it wasn't really an interesting video, but the whole purpose of this video was just to announce that we're keeping the truck and look forward to more repairs on this truck. Like I said, the next thing we're going to be tackling is the spark plugs. So I hope you enjoyed the video at very least, and like always, thanks for watching.